In this video, you'll discover 7 public speaking techniques to move your speech from this to that. You can actually use the first 3 to hook your audience right at the start of your speech, and the last 4 to keep them engaged until the end. First technique, surprising statement. You can share an unexpected statistic or surprising statement right at the start of your speech to really hook your audience. Example, the average person spends 90 days of their life on the toilet. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we'll dive into how to optimize our bathroom habits. For the surprising statement to work really well, make sure to own it. For example, you say 90, then you pause, and then you only reveal the full statistic. So you say 90. The average person spends 90 days of their life on the toilet. So don't just rush through it, own it. But hey, once you've grabbed their attention, you may want to use that second technique to keep that attention. Second technique, big promise. Your audience is giving you the most precious thing in their lives, their time. So let them know that this will be worth their time by sharing your big promise. Tell them in one sentence what's in it for them. What will they gain from listening to you? Example, by the end of this talk, you'll know the secret to making your daily commute 40% faster and a lot more enjoyable. But try to frame the big promise from their perspective. Don't say, such as, I will show you a super nice formula. Instead say, today you will uncover the formula to finally stick to your habits. The big promise gets them excited, but if you combine that technique with the next one, your audience will be fully hooked. Third technique, anticipation hook. Sell your speech. Tell them right at the start how incredible the information is going to be. Example, today you pick up 3 core strategies. 1 is good. 2, even better. And 3, absolutely incredible. Once you learn that 3rd strategy, my job is done. I can retire hereafter. The anticipation hook is great, but watch out not to overdo it. If you sell your speech too much and put everything as the best or the most interesting, it will lose a little bit the effect. But hey, now that you've got your listeners' full attention, let's now move into the next 4 techniques to keep the attention. 4th technique, the imaginary world. Invite your audience to imagine a certain situation. This technique is often used to imagine a problem that you want to address or maybe a solution that you propose. Example, imagine yourself on this tropical beach. You feel the warm sun on your skin. You hear the sound of waves gently crashing in, and you hold this cold drink in your hand. The stress melts away as you take in the paradise around you. Today we'll explore how to bring this same level of relaxation and joy to our customers. For the imaginary world to work really well, I'd suggest using action verbs. For example, you open the door, you see your manager, you close the book. All of these action verbs will bring your audience into the moment, and they will help them see the scene in front of their eyes. 5th technique, analogy. Now there will be parts or concepts in your presentation that you want your audience to really understand or really remember. Now to help you with that, you could share a simple analogy. In an analogy, you compare some new concept with something that your audience is familiar with. You can say something like, ta-da-da is like na-na-na. Example, building our brand is like planting a tree. It takes time, care, and consistent effort to see it grow strong and tall. Analogies are really effective to help us grasp a more complex topic, but only if they're simple and not adding more complexity. What you can also do is you can show a picture on a slide or an object to make the analogy land even better. Now, analogies help your audience remember your content, but there is one more technique that is even more effective. Technique 6, student-teacher. Studies have shown that learning retention is at its highest in the moment that people teach others. So as a speaker, don't just share the content, but make your audience explain it to each other. Ask your audience members to turn to their neighbor and explain the concept that they have just learned. Example, now that you know what the concept is about, I want you to turn to your neighbor and explain the 4 core strategies. The first person can share the first 2 strategies and the other person the other 2 strategies. To give your audience some extra guidance, you can tell them who should start. You can say something like, the one with the darker hair goes first, or the one who's taller goes first. Technique 7, irony. The best speakers don't take themselves too serious. They break the ice and build rapport by bringing in a bit of humor. Now you can do the same by sharing a funny contradiction in which you say something different from what you actually mean. Example, have a look at this breathtaking, incredibly sexy, award-winning PowerPoint slide. Beautiful. Irony works really well if you make fun of your own profession or your own personal flaws. If you work, for example, in finance, well, make fun of finance. If you're obsessively clean, make fun of being a tiny bit too clean. This will make your audience fall in love with you. That's it. These are 7 really effective public speaking techniques. But another technique that we didn't talk about in this video is storytelling. Storytelling works really well, but I know it can be a bit challenging when you're just starting off. If that's the case, you may want to check out this next video in which you'll learn how to create these unforgettable stories. Enjoy.